Oh, wait, okay. I had the wrong box score pulled up. Okay, take two. Mm. Should Saints fans be optimistic after the 31 to 19 loss against the Bills? Let's get right into it. Short answer, I think yes. I think for a rebuilding team coming off of a just absolutely horrendous, despicable performance against Seattle and then having to travel across the country to play one of the best teams, I think overall this was a good performance. You know, and especially like at the beginning of the season, everyone who looked at the schedule, you could tell that the first four games of the schedule were going to be the toughest stretch by far. And we've been competitive in three of the four games, you know? And even though this was a loss, like, I can't help but feel like we have a little momentum coming out of this game, right? Because we just played one of the best teams in the league, and, like, we kept fighting, and it came down to the fourth quarter. It came down to the last 5 minutes. Up until the last 4 minutes, we had a chance. And now all of a sudden you have two back-to-back home games against the Giants and Patriots, and then you go on the road to Chicago, which is they're definitely the three most winnable games of this season so far, for sure. I mean, you could argue Arizona was a more winnable game than Chicago, but that's kind of up in the air. But the Giants and Patriots is definitely winnable for sure. I think we can get at least 1 to 3, not 1 to 3, 1 to 2 wins out of that stretch. And so, yeah, I just I feel like you have to like kind of be optimistic and you have to feel good about how like we played in this game. Also, I thought Kellen Moore, like, this game kind of restored my faith in Kellen Moore. Not that it was ever gone, but it just showed that, like, okay, he's here. He's making adjustments, right? Like the penalties, especially the pre-snap penalties on the O line. Even Olave had one last week, I think. I don't know if it was last week or week two, but like the first 3 weeks of the season, pre-snap penalties, holding penalties, just penalties in general, we were just shooting ourselves in the foot, right? But coming into this game, again having to travel across the country, Kellen Moore cleaned it up. All right, let's look. We only had 4 penalties, I believe. Yeah, 4 penalties. One of them being a roughing the kicker call, which which is just dumb. I don't know why we were even trying to block it in that situation. But again, I thought he did a really good job fixing special teams, cleaning up the special teams, right? Because again, we all know against Seattle, special teams was horrendous. And so, besides the roughing the punter call, I thought the special teams was pretty good. And and I think we have a large enough sample size to know that Kellen Moore's rushing offense is legit now. We knew that Kellen Moore was gonna live and die by the run coming into the season, right? We knew that. We just needed to see it. We just needed to see the results. And I think 4 games is a big enough sample size to say, okay, we can run the ball for sure. Especially because Arizona, San Fran, Seattle, they're all like mediocre to above average run defenses. And we did pretty solid against them. You know what? The Bills' rushing defense, pretty bad. I think they're 28th or 29th ranked, right? And we put up 189 against them, which is exactly what you're supposed to do against, one of the worst rush defenses in the league. And so, yeah, that's another really good takeaway. I also thought there were some really good individual takeaways, like individual performances, right? Jonas Sinker is legit, for sure. He showed that. 3 pass breakups, 1 interception, and he's our highest PFF grade. He's our highest PFF graded defensive player, and I think even in general, I think in total, he was the highest graded player in that game. Also, towards the end of the video, we're gonna look at the PFF grades and cover that. But yeah, Jonas Sinker's legit. I was really impressed with him. So that's definitely something you could take away from this game. Another performance, Kendre Miller. Kendre Miller really showed up, because I feel like he's kind of a weird player. He's been a weird player throughout his career where he'll have one explosive run for like 11 yards, but then he'll have three more that go for two. And that's kind of sums up his whole how his whole career has been. But this game, no. Like he was running the ball. And that's also again a testament to Kellen Moore's rushing offense. And our O line was really good on the run. A different story, pass blocking. So okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the O line. I like this is something you definitely look or something I'm definitely going to be looking for to be cleaned up against the Giants. Is I felt like there were so many plays where there was just a miscommunication on the O line. And I don't know whose fault it was. I don't know if it's Kellen's fault. I don't know if it's Riley's fault. I don't know if it's Eric McCoy's fault. And I have to assume it's McCoy's because he's in charge of the protection calls, right? He's calling the offensive line. So like there were I think probably like four plays where a defender or blitzer was just able to run straight through the line, did not get picked up at all, and that can't happen. That's absolutely something we have to look for to be cleaned up in this Giants game. But back to the individual performances, Blake Grupe. And I know a lot of fans are calling for Blake Grupe's head, and rightfully so. Like so far this season, he's definitely shown us more bad than good. But he was good this game. He hit the 54-yarder. He hit the other field goal. I don't know how long that one was. Probably like 30 yards, but he hit it. He hit it right. Like he's supposed to make those kicks. So yeah, Blake Grupe played good this game. Now let's look at the PFF grades. Actually, I want to look at the defense first. Let's look at that. Yeah, Jonas Sinker, amazing. Jonas Sinker's legit. Quick question: is it Jonas or Jonas? Jonas Sinker or Jonas Sinker? Jonas Sinker. Jonas Sinker. Anyway, but yeah, 85 overall defense grade, 87 in coverage. Again, one interception, three pass breakups. I thought he was phenomenal. He was bad tackling, but I mean, our whole defense was bad tackling this game. Like, we can't have that. Like, DeMario's tackling grade being 29 is crazy. Like, that's not going to happen. I guarantee you, this is the only game his tackling grade is going to be that low. You can hold me on that. But let's look. Justin Reed, I thought he played a good game because overall so far this season I felt like his play has been a little underwhelming. You know, not that he's been bad, but like I've just maybe it's just me, but I expected more. But I thought he played really good this game. Chris Rumph again. Or not again. What the fuck am I talking about? Chris Rumph is honestly he's kind of breaking out. I thought he played really good. He had a 63 run defense grade, 64 overall defense grade, 58 pass rush, 61 in coverage. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. Let's see, Carl Granderson. Carl Granderson probably second, maybe third best player on this defense. He's good, right? He's good. Um, and I thought Brian Brzee. Watching the game, I thought Brian Brzee played a lot better. But obviously his PFF grades say otherwise. I mean, tackling he was 69.8, but pass rush 58 points. I mean, I guess it doesn't say he played that bad, but I don't know. Watching the game, it felt like Brian Brzee PFF grades were going to be in the top 5 defensively. Is from that's what I thought. Let's switch over to the offense real quick. Kendra Miller again, phenomenal. He had a really good game. Rattler, really good. He did a really good job escaping the pocket. Really good job using his legs. There was one play where he absolutely shook a Bills defender. Just took him outside, took him inside, took him back outside. It was just insane. But passing wise, he left a lot to be desired. like I know we weren't passing the ball a lot because we were running the ball so well, but you just need to be more efficient on those passes. And I am planning to make a full video on Spencer Rattler. That's coming up soon. So I'm gonna try not to talk about it that much. Kelvin Banks, I thought played really good on the run, pass blocking, run blocking. Uh, I thought he played really good run blocking. The whole offensive line honestly played really good run blocking. Again, that's a testament to Kellen Moore's run offense, right? Pass blocking was a different story. Again, I talked about the miscommunication and just that needs to be picked like cleaned up for sure, right? But other than that, I really don't have that many you know takeaways on the offense. Obviously, Kamara is going to be Kamara. He wasn't great. He wasn't bad. He was Kamara this game, right? Obviously, the last play, or not the last play, but he slipped on the third down, or was it fourth down? Yeah, it was fourth down. He slipped and didn't pick up the first, obviously, but it is what it is. And Devon Vele, I don't know why he's not getting on the field more. Let's look real quick. I don't think he had a single reception. And so, let's see. Yeah, no, he didn't have a single reception. So I don't know if that's a playbook issue, but I feel like he's been on the team long enough to where he should, have a good knowledge of the playbook by now. So yeah, I have no idea. I want to see him on the field more for sure. But yeah, overall, I think there's a lot to be optimistic about, even though it was a loss. You know, I I I expect a win next week against the Giants. I'm not gonna lie. 100% I expect a win against the Giants next week. For sure. For sure. But, we're going to talk about it more this week. But yeah, overall, I think there's a lot to be optimistic about this game. And so, yeah. Planning to make. Oh, yeah, let's talk about this. Coming up, I'm going to make a whole video on Spencer Rattler. I'm going to make a top 10, my power rankings, top 10 quarterbacks so far this season. And we're going to be talking about, this upcoming game against the Giants all week. So yeah, look forward to that. See you.